You wake up tired, not physically, but mentally. A heaviness behind your eyes, a fog inside your thoughts, a weight on your chest that you can't describe because nothing is wrong, yet everything feels off. You get dressed, you show up, you work, you push, you try. No one around you sees the battle in your head because you're still functioning, still producing, still being responsible. But inside, something is breaking quietly, slowly, daily. This is silent burnout. The burnout that destroys people who never complain. The burnout that attacks the strong ones, the dependable ones, the consistent ones who everyone assumes are fine. Silent burnout doesn't start with exhaustion. It starts with numbness. A soft, invisible erosion of your energy that you learn to normalize because life demands you to keep moving. And the scariest part? You don't realize you're burning out until you're already charred inside. Chapter 1. The burnout nobody talks about. Most people imagine burnout as a dramatic collapse, panic attacks, breakdowns, quitting your job, crying at your desk. But that's the final stage. That's the visible burnout, the kind people recognize. Silent burnout is different. It hides under your routine. It disguises itself as being tired. It whispers instead of screams. You feel drained, but you keep working. You feel irritated, but you keep responding. You feel empty, but you keep producing. Your body is screaming in a language you've learned to ignore because you were taught to push through, to be strong, to not disappoint anyone, to keep going no matter the cost. Silent burnout is what happens when your brain is exhausted, but your responsibilities don't care. Chapter 2. The psychology of slow collapse. Silent burnout begins with one simple lie you tell yourself. I'm fine. I just need to rest on the weekend. But the weekend comes. You rest, and somehow you're still tired. That's when the truth hits. Your exhaustion isn't physical. It's mental. Your brain is overloaded from constant performance, constant alertness, constant pressure to be okay. You're not just tired, you're mentally starving. The human brain is not designed to constantly be on guard, to anticipate emails, messages, deadlines, mistakes, politics, tension, boss moods, coworker drama. Your brain is carrying things you don't even notice anymore. The pressure is invisible because you got used to it. But your nervous system didn't. Your mind didn't. Your emotions didn't. Your peace didn't. Chapter 3. The hidden signs you overlook every day. Silent burnout doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in through small cracks. You stop caring about things that once mattered. You lose interest in conversations. You avoid messages. You stare at your screen without seeing anything. You scroll mindlessly because your brain is too tired to think. You feel guilty for resting, as if slowing down is a crime. You eat, but the food doesn't taste. You sleep, but the rest doesn't repair you. You laugh, but the happiness doesn't reach your heart. Nothing is wrong, yet nothing feels right. Silent burnout is the quiet fading of the parts of you that make you human. It's not dramatic. It's slow, subtle, dangerous. Chapter 4. Why high performers suffer the most. Here's the part most people don't understand. Burnout doesn't happen to weak people. Burnout happens to people who carry too much for too long. People who never want to inconvenience others. People who don't ask for help. People who push themselves harder than anyone else ever would. People who think resting is laziness. People who are always the strong one. People who pretend they're fine even when they're breaking. You become the hero of everyone else's story and the villain of your own well-being. High performers burn out silently because they don't want to disappoint, they don't want to look incapable, they don't want people to worry, they don't want to appear weak, so they keep going and going and going until something inside them stops responding. Silent burnout is the price high performers pay for being the reliable one in a world that takes advantage of reliability. Chapter 5. The workplace triggers you don't notice. Most silent burnout starts at work. Not because the work is difficult, but because the environment is psychologically draining. Micromanagement, unclear expectations, unfair treatment, toxic coworkers, constant pressure to prove yourself, lack of recognition, fear of being replaced, fear of making mistakes, fear of losing your job. Workplaces don't burn people out with tasks, they burn people out with tension. Your mind stays in survival mode even when no direct threat exists. That chronic tension is what slowly drains your mental energy until your brain feels like it's running on fumes. Burnout isn't just about workload. It's about the emotional cost of the workplace. Chapter 6. The emotional weight you keep quiet. Silent burnout feels like, I can't keep doing this, but I have to. It's the fear of disappointing people. It's the guilt of resting. It's the pressure to perform. It's the anxiety of falling behind. It's the shame of struggling. Silent burnout is emotional imprisonment. You feel trapped between who you are expected to be and what your mental capacity can handle. You pretend you're fine because stopping feels worse than suffering. You keep pushing because slowing down means facing the truth. And the truth is terrifying. You're not okay. Chapter 7. The point where burnout becomes dangerous. Silent burnout becomes dangerous when you stop feeling anything at all. When your brain stops responding to stress, not because you're calm, but because you're numb. You no longer react. You no longer resist. You no longer care. You slip into emotional autopilot just to survive another day. This is the stage where people quit suddenly, explode unexpectedly, have breakdowns, lose motivation, lose themselves. Burnout doesn't steal your energy, it steals your identity. Chapter 8. The Awakening. There comes a moment, quiet, subtle, internal, when you realize, I'm exhausted and this is not normal anymore. That moment is painful, but powerful, because acknowledgement is the beginning of taking your life back. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to disappear. You don't need to run away. You need clarity. You need boundaries. You need recovery. You need rest without guilt. You need space to breathe. And you need to understand this. Burnout is not a personal failure. Burnout is your mind begging you to stop living like a machine. Final message. If anything I said felt uncomfortably accurate, it's because silent burnout is a shared human experience. People just don't talk about it.
They hide it, push through it, normalize it. But you deserve to heal. You deserve to rest. You deserve a life where your mental peace matters as much as your productivity. You are not weak. You are not failing. You are not alone. You are simply exhausted from being stronger than you needed to be for too long. If this hit you deeply, you're exactly the kind of person this channel was built for. Subscribe, because this is where we expose the hidden psychology of work, the part nobody talks about, but everyone silently suffers through. Stay awake, stay aware, protect your mind, and remember, you matter